Okay, so we are on day 3. Is this day 3 or 4 of my vanity makeover? I don't know. But today we are going to add a coat of shellac, dewaxed shellac. Let that dry and then we can move on to the top coat.
Which is going to be fun for Mommy.
It's going to be fun for Mommy. Mommy is so tired of working on this vanity. I'm ready to be done.
So
all right.
She can use it.
So I can use the bathroom. It's been like, what, 3 months?
I think.
3 months. All right, let's get started. Okay, so now that all the vanity doors and drawer fronts have had time to dry, we are now ready for the dewaxed shellac. This is the step where it's going to help basically seal in this dye so it's not going to come off. There is going to be a little bit that rubs off when we put this on here with a towel, but for the most part it should not affect it too much. But that means anything that we put on top of this won't disturb the dye. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of this shellac on a towel, and I'm just going to do light coats. I don't want to rub it in. I just want to do a very light coat, and you'll see some of the dye come off, but it shouldn't be too much. Just make sure that you don't have any of the drips get onto your dye, because it will leave a discoloration. So we're just going to go right over it. And honestly, I don't know if this changes the color of the dye. We'll have to see once it dries. And if it does, that's okay. I think I still will like it. Okay, so we have put 1 coat of shellac on the vanity doors and on the drawer fronts. And then I realized it's turning it brown. I'm okay with that, but I kind of like the gray, but I was wondering how this ended up looking brown and it's supposed to be gray. And I think that's what it is. If you put the sanding sealer shellac on it, it tends to turn it brown. So I think this is going to look more like this when I'm done. So we'll see. But anyway, we've already done the other parts, and now we're ready to put some of the sanding sealer here. So let's give it a try. So at this point, I am just ready to get this vanity done. So I am okay with this thing turning slight colors. So you see how it's turning like a brown color? We're just going to put a little bit of one very light coat, and you see that it's coming off. So I'm not going to push down too much because I don't want it to smear off the dye. So I'm going to do a very light coat and wipe very slightly. Alright guys, so we're done. We have put 1 coat of the sanding sealer and it's changed the color of the vanity. I think it's because of the shade of the sanding sealer, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I still like the color, and once we add 2 coats of top coat, it's really going to smooth everything out, and then we'll come back with the liming wax over top of the top coat. Honestly, it's going to look amazing, and if it doesn't, guess what? I don't care, because I will be done. So I'm going to let this dry for 1 day. I'll come back tomorrow and then do the top coat. So I'll see you tomorrow. And I am ready to move on to the next step of this project. So all you need is a big roll of rags. These are just $5 from Home Depot. And we're gonna be using liming wax and just a clear wax. So if you remember, we have 2 coats of top coat on the vanity. It has settled into the pores a little bit, but oak has very deep pores. So we're still gonna be able to put some of this liming wax, which looks very much like Noxzema. Remember Noxzema from like back in the 70s and 80s? It looks very much like Noxzema. So we should still have some pores where we can rub it in there, small section by small section, and get that liming wax to lay in the grain of the red oak. We really don't want to put too much on, so we're just going to do one section at a time. And we're going to go in the same perpendicular direction so that we don't pull that wax out of the grain. So we are done with this project. We have put all of the liming wax, the clear wax on the doors and the drawer fronts. And now the only thing left to do is to add them back to the vanity and then we're done. Oh, I probably will go over it one more time with a coat of clear wax, but for now, I mean, we're pretty much done. So let's go ahead and add these back onto the vanity.